I again visited today, and I have seen all students. Initially, what we were planning, we should see one candidate who is doctor, and he is in the morning session. But unfortunately, we will not able to see. After that, we came across one girl. She came and she told me, "Sir, I have seen your interview, and I have used same sentences 3 times, and I have got through." And what was the case scenario? I will not disclose her name, but I told him what was the case scenario. She said that how the medical profession will help in administration. So I said that we do all analysis, thinking, and all that. So, but also everything she has told. So they said that okay, stop. So they shifted. So what is their thought process is that, up to my knowledge, their thought process is about, are you knowing knowing about administration? Why? Because they have no options. Because they don't know medical science. So they have very limited options. Now what they will ask? So whatever they will ask will be in MOM, Ministry of Family and Welfare. So it will not go beyond that. 101% it will not go beyond that. Why? Because see, that person is working in the administrative portion. He has never come across with the patient. Even I got one not very good comment, but that comment was from the today's interview. Okay? They asked me, Baba, they have asked about what is the role of palliative care and tertiary care. And our doctors get fumbled because the expectation was not matching with the science. So, see, we cannot say against any board. We should understand that they are administrative more than a pure doctor. So we always think, in our medical science, what we will be asked. Now, during your mock interview, they have asked you about medical science instead of asking the other factors. See, I have seen interviews, they are not asking, few interviews, they are not asking single question of that. Not single question of that. Second thing, I met one girl, she's engineer, and she said that she was very well read because she has a graduation in computer science. So she was expecting from AI, and not a single question was asked from AI. So what we are expecting might not be the same. Now, ideally, that girl, they should ask about AI. And she has read many books of AI, the recent, what is the government of India's policies, and they are not asked any single question. Second thing, one girl was there, and she was a sports person, and she was very brilliant, and she was a sports person, and nothing was asked about her sports and sport national player. Even though, what you are thinking that what about my hobbies, and I'm a little poor about hobbies, or I'm a little poor about my extracurricular activity. But a national player, you should ask the sports. And they ask very different thing, like you are from Haryana. So what is the importance of Kurukshetra? And then what is Bhagavad Gita and philosophy? So coming to first point, can we prepare for it? 50% answer is no, and 50% answer is yes. Second thing, can we expect the results of interview, which lies between 50%, 60% and 70%? The result is no, because there is no fixed criteria to evaluate. Third, can we determine our marks depending on graduation subject? Then again, answer may or may not. So there is a big no. And then why we are so stressed? The person who has studied very well of AI was never asked about AI. The person who was very well averse with the sport activity was never asked about the sport activity. So why should we worry? See, because they judge. Now, she was the same lady. She told me, sir, your interview your video was excellent, and I pick up from all 2 to 3 points, and it helped me a lot. But they never continued discussion on that. So what was the logic? The logic was, see, there is a system of analysis of a question. So how you are useful to me? So do you have analytical skill? Do you have an intelligent coefficient? Do you have emotional coefficient? Do you have all these characters? So everything lies on all these bases. So every time they will go and check. What they will check? Personality means what? Qualifications. First qualification to be a officer first. So as usual, talk like officer, walk like officer, think like officer. So from where I will talk like officer? Same question were asked. One interview person has asked, what do you feel about strategic strategic policy of what we call as a strategic depth India, right? I have told you about that book, India Strategic Importance, C. Rajamohan and have you read that?
No.
It is very important. See, till now we don't have our national strategy. We don't have national strategy. That is most needed. So if I posted you IFS or if I posted you a secretary in a defense, then you must require a strategic thinking. So how will you develop? So being so they will ask you about, do you feel that and she was asked, do you feel that Indian foreign policy is doing well? There is no other answer. We have to say
Yes.
but not like that. You have to say, sir, I told you, sir, from since 1947, okay, India starts from 1947. So since 1947, we come across with ups and downs, leaps and bounds in our progress of growth of our nation, where diplomacy and foreign policy has played a major role. Some place it has done excellently, some place it has a very poor performance. Like Jammu Kashmir taking into the UN, that was the issue. No, not strategically applying infrastructures on the Chinese border. No clear-cut policy against radicalization. No clear-cut policy non-tolerance. So these are the limitations. But as we go progress, nothing is 100% perfect. And we have thought again and again. We found out some reasons. We live. So if they will ask you about. They have asked to one doctor, have you? What about Ayushman Bharat? Are you satisfied with that? The answer will be the same. So since independence, we have come across and we have many demographic changes or many statistical achievements, and we need better infrastructures and all that. The Ayushman Bharat is serving to its extent, but more things to be done to become India as a global power and to reach the sustainable growth, to reach the human indices and all that. So all these percentages you should know. So this pattern of answering is very important. First thing, you should not take one side. Second thing, things should be balanced. Third thing, same like means. Few pro, few against, and you have to go fast. Pro, against, and balancing, and way forward. Now, one person, I was listening to one video and said that, does the UN useless? And India should come out of UN. So how will you answer?
Sir, an imperfect UN is better than no UN. So India should continue in UN because it is the only organization which has maximum membership and provides a platform to discuss global issues, and it has seen multiple.
Again, see, what is your first answer? What is your first answer? What you have answered like? Tell me. Again, repeat.
Sir, an imperfect UN is better than no UN.
Why you have taken this sentence? From where you have taken this sentence?
It was said by Shyam Saran or Sri Rajan.
Okay. Now, we'll not argue on that because they are experts. So you have definitely some reference. Like this is said by Jaishankar, this is said by C. Rajamohan. So they have weightage. Remember, 100%. It is Swaminathan. I have one person who is a hardcore specialist in that subject, like economist. So many economists. Now, how the foreign ministry has delivered this? Do you know how Jaishankar is told about UN? The question was asked, do you think UN is irrelevant? The same term, same way. So how he has answered? So, see, what I am telling you, this is a way of answering. This is the way of answering. Are you understand?
Yes, sir.
First thing, he said, see, the UN is formed after World War. Initially it was over 50 nations. Now it has built to the 200 nations. Everyone has its expectation for this thing. Unfortunately, the conditions and relations with the economies are not the same. At that time, India's economy was above 10. Now it has come to 50 economy. So it has become a giant economy. So the relations goes on changing. The same relations are not catered in UN. So it needs reform in betterment of the society. Right. Then again someone will say, do you feel UN is irrelevant? Then how will you answer?
First, I will tell the pros of importance and then say we should.
Now you can see, you are answered first, 50, then 200 nations and everything as well. It was given in foreign ministry website, right? I'm not saying from my sentences. Now you should come and say that nobody is or will remain relevant with respect to time unless we do some amendments, public modifications. ये universal line है, हाँ? बात ही खत्म, पढ़ते खत्म. See, that what I'm saying to you, these questions, write it down. This will be useful. With relation with time, and it needs modification, public amendment. So things are very clear, and this requires a uniform modification. Even now, that person was embarking on that mock interview, lady. He tell me, is the UN efficient? Do you feel UN is bogus? UN is a just club? Okay, UN is just club or all like that. See, I don't think such extreme steps are taken in the interview. So we should not bother. You have to tell that no institution is 100% perfect with relation to the time. It goes on changing, and change is in the form of amendment, and UN needs to be reformed to become relevant. The high relevant we have already done. So UN का तो बात नहीं. I mean, the second thing they have said that what about the Trump? Policies about Trump. So you have to tell only 4 to 5 sentences. I will dictate about Trump. So what is the commonest question asked in mock about Trump?
Impact on India.
What do you feel about the Trump and his tariff policy? Will it impact on India? Right. This type of questions are asked. You have to see. You have to tell them that Trump is a nationalistic, driven by America first policy. His thought process feels that America is bearing huge unnecessary losses because of unequal tariffs, so wants to instill reciprocal tariffs. Now left, now right, it's always in the center, right? You read the sentence.
Trump is a nationalist driven by America First policy. His thought process feels that America is bearing huge unnecessary losses because of unequal tariffs, so wants to instill reciprocal tariffs.
Is that clear? But what is the implication? So implication is that trade is important pillar for controlling inflation and thus running the economy. Drastic, hasty and nasty decisions without understanding its basic causes will cause issue more complex than to be solved. आता तुला कसं वाटतं? किती सिम्प्लिफाय केलं? त्याची hasty आहे, this is nasty decisions आहे. He is not telling what is exactly what is thought process. He is just bombarding everyone, and he is a nationalistic, and he is like a trading person. So we should not say that this is type of leader. We should say that he is a nationalistic leader. We should think positively. And second thing, he is applying this thing because his thought process tells that USA is at a loss. What he is thinking, but is he really in a loss or not is a different issue. Because other they विचारतील, चलो explain how it is possible. You can explain them. You see, they have industrial boom, and their wealth increases rapidly after Second World War. Now, industries present in USA feels very difficult to adjust the higher wages because of the economical improvement. Instead, they find a cheap labor in developing economical countries. Hence, they shifted. बात खत्म. दूसरा कोई कारण नहीं. There was no other reason. They want a more profit. In thinking of having more profit, they have shifted. So everything has plus as well as minus. Right? हे कसं तुला वाटतं हे बघ. I am telling you, make a very small sentences, make a relevant sentences. Don't be under a shadow की माझं कसं how it is. Make small sentences. Make use of SDPs again and again. Make use of WHO statistic again and again. Economical statistic and inflation rates again and again. So you have to again and again you have to use same. Then poverty index, employment ratios, education ratios, that should be picked back. That should be again and again reinstilled in respect with the world. See, whatever they are asking, they are not asking Ujala Yojana or not they are asking about agriculture e-card. They are asking what about Trumps? What about this thing? In relation, how Indian judiciary at par with the Western judiciary. Then whether there is what we call as media freedom. Media freedom, Western judiciary, wokeism culture, minority oppressions and suppressions. Now they will ask you, do you feel that minorities are suppressed in India? How will ask?
Minorities are given their due right.
Uttar सापडला, उत्तर कुठं सापडलं? Then you will get this answer.
PM speeches.
PM speeches is one of the things. But why PM should answer that? Where will you get?
National Commission for Minorities.
They have to क्या बोलते हैं? They have to just तुमच्यावर आरोप करायला. So आरोपाला काय म्हणायचं? They have to allegate. They have to have allegation. The minorities are suppressed or oppressed. So who will be the best person to answer? The questions will be written by the Minority Commission. That will be in the UN. And who will answer?
Speak for
The foreign minister. So what is the foreign minister answer? Do you know? So you have to copy that. The answer on this foreign minister answer is India is a diverse country. Just now, it has happened just 3-4 days back. Manipur issue and Kashmir issue was raised in UN. So India is such a diverse country with populous democratic country with multiple religious blends in the society. Day by day, we are improving the democratic processes. No system is 100% pure in its form. But looking up the population, upliftment and economical growth of minorities is far better and superior than any country in the world. Finished. There is a crowd and riots is going on and the person was in a relation with the some minister. Now things are framed, what to do or what not to do. You got a hospital, being a doctor they will say that, see, do you know such and such place of Dura or in Gujarat, NIC was burnt because of the fire, and also the same episode happened just few days before in Maharashtra. They will definitely ask. But you have to tell them that, see, we are in a progress. We have applied. Initially there was no rules. Now we are slowly applying public nursing order. Rome is never built in a single day. That is the main thing. But वैसा नहीं बोलना है. We have to never say that Rome is not built in a single day. But we have to see that, sir, we are now enrolling all hospitals and we are achieving some results. Sir, the expectation of Indians is too far stretched than what is real. हे म्हणू शकतो ना. I am never denying that you should not expect. I think they are expecting from the doctors shows they have a great confidence in the doctors. So confidence जर नसेल तर तो expectationच करणार नाही ना. हे सांगायचं. Overall expectation from the doctor family is too high, and they feel that they are the persons with strongest dedications and selflessness and non-corrupt and everything. Every good qualities are there present. But that is not the issue. There are some persons will be doing that. And आजच्याच एका candidate they asked, see now, do you know that people charge on the next day round when the patient admitted, next day round they charge the consulting fee. Why they should not charge? If the advocate is charging the second day charges, third the hearing charges, then doctor should also charge. But they say that they should not charge. So this education regarding not only to the patient but also administration is needed. Limitation and frameworking of the charges, it's okay because Then they will say, why they should charge? We have to plainly say that, see madam, the patient is always a dynamic process. Patient is always a dynamic process. Variation happens. Our main aim is to control all parameters till artificially, till the recovery happens. So this requires skills, practices and experience which the doctors are trying to impose on the patient. But ethical consideration and some rules and regulations is needed for about the charging or service charging of any person. कारण हे तुम्हाला नेहमीच म्हणणार की डॉक्टरने चार्ज करावा का नाही तुम्ही सांगायचं but doctor's patient is very dynamic. The things usually tend to fluctuate. Here the more experienced person will have more good control and he takes his charges, like the advocate takes his charges. But it should not be burden on the patient. It should not be an economical burden to have a distress, which is also happening. So this fine delicate balance has to be maintained.